Before we get into the subject of today's video, I wanted to do something that didn't have my avatar for a reason. A friend of mine, a very dear friend of mine recently, had some issues. And the issues ended this morning when her mother passed away. So I'm going to link the parody troll account she uses on Twitter. And I'd very much appreciate it if you could send her pictures of dogs. Cute dogs. Your dogs if you have them. What happened to her mother is truly awful. And to Sharon, I hope you find peace where you are now, because your suffering was unfair. Woo, Nelly! Said that twice today. We've got a story for you. This one's a doozy. This one cracked me up. This one put the biggest smile on my face. Do I need my sarcasm sign to make a resurfacing for that? So a bunch of teachers have been placed on administrative leave after a photo surfaced of them posing with a noose. Now, to be honest, there isn't much context with that, is it? It could simply be, oh, we tied a knot. Look what we made. We're so proud. Look at them. They're so happy. No, that's not what happened at all. I am, however, going to leave this picture on the screen for a little while, because to some people it's just a picture of a knot. But of course, as we all know, context doesn't matter. There is, however, some context, so it's not as great as we all think it is. The Palmdale School District was notified back in May that an incident involving the discovery of a noose and inappropriate responses to the discovery had occurred at Summerwind Elementary School. Now, this is from a statement by the district's superintendent, Raul Maldonado, from a Facebook post I will link below. The school's principal at the time had been placed on administrative leave pending an investigation of the matter, and the 4 teachers seen in the photo were also placed on administrative leave, who have not yet been identified. Even though their faces are here, I doubt it would take long to work it out. Parents have called for harsher punishments on these 4 teachers because they don't believe the administrative leave is enough. Now, of course, it being a certain area of California, it's highly likely they want to use that noose on those teachers. Progressive, yo. I mean, they are white. I mean, look at them, they're so pasty. In a retaliation to what the teachers did, this horrific hate crime, some parents have said their children will no longer attend the school because of the photo. Because the photo hurts them to their core, and that is a direct quote from Brianne Clemens, one of the parents, who said that it actually hurt her to the core. To her core? Their core? Her core? Doesn't matter. Continuing to say she was disgusted, outraged, and wanted action done and not just administrative leave. So obviously sacking, hung, drawn, quartered, and then we might consider bringing them back just to hang them again. Other parents saying that they had to explain why the daughter was pulled from the school, saying that they used to hang African American people and that's what they do. And they still do it to this day. I would like to say to you, yes, in your country they did do it to African Americans. Do you know where else they did it? Almost everywhere else around the world, and they still do it to this day, in some areas. In the UK, it happened a considerable amount. The superintendent, Maldonado, was talking to a radio station. He indicated that it makes him angry. We don't tolerate that type of behaviour in our community and school district. We hold employees to the highest standard with high expectations. The president of the Palmdale Elementary Teachers Association has indicated that this is deeply concerning and painful history it represents, and that they still can't really offer much of a comment until things have been resolved. Now, I have taken the liberty of going through that story because it's quite interesting, but it was also linked to a main article I wanted to cover, which, oddly enough, it had nothing to do with. In fact, I would add to this that not only does it have nothing to do with it, but it happened in a completely different state. The only tangible connection is the word noose. ABC, you may have failed a little bit when it came to reporting on the other noose around Campus Hall article. Well done. So sorry to those 4 teachers that I put on blast, but your selfie amused me. Now on to the Illinois student that has been charged with a hate crime for allegedly placing a noose in a campus residence hall. This is Andrew Smith, a 19-year-old sophomore charged with a misdemeanor disorderly conduct and committing a hate crime, which is a felony after a collection of students found a noose hanging inside an elevator last weekend. News began making rounds on social media because students, of course, were outraged by this noose. I just want to say, because I have to crack a joke at it, you must have the thinnest hair on top of your head for a comb over to start near your ear. Okay, attack on appearance is done. Moving on, I'm sure you guys can be more creative. A lady came forward as part of this investigation and say she saw Smith tie the noose and then called campus security to report him. A university executive director of public safety and chief of police, Craig Stone, said that our mission at the university police department is to maintain a safe and security environment where our campus community members feel supported and successful. We do not tolerate incidents that are perceived by others to be a threat to their safety, and will always respond quickly to identify offenders and hold them accountable for their actions. Andrew Smith has pleaded not guilty and has been released on a $5,000 bond, with a court date scheduled for October the 22nd. I will, of course, once this is resolved, concluded even, talk about that in a follow-up. I've never seen someone look so self-righteous in a mugshot. I'll tell you what, I'm impressed. Very impressed. Got the wings right. This story got so much traction and so much attention that the governor of Illinois himself has condemned this, who said he was glad that swift action was taken, going so far as to say that hate has no place in Illinois or in its educational institutions, and I'm glad swift action was taken to address this incident. Continuing by tweeting out, I'm committed to fighting intolerance and bigotry everywhere in our state and building a culture of learning at our universities that serves all students. The arrest of Andrew comes after the university is battling a number of accusations of racial harassment, which has been filed by 3 black employees in a federal lawsuit. This filed lawsuit from January claims that employees were exposed to threats of racial violence, such as nooses, swastikas, KKK garb, racist graffiti and Confederate flags, with a spokesperson for the university saying that discrimination of any kind has no place at the university and we will review any allegations or claims with counsel as soon as we receive them. We have over the years discussed on this channel many incidents that have been deemed racist and then those have not been. I'm not going to delve too much into that. Instead, though, I'm going to leave this picture on the screen for the remainder of the video so you can then choose the most creative way to mock someone who is alleged to have hung a noose in an elevator. I have to say alleged, because until proven, it is just that. But under the pretense, let's say, they are guilty of it. I would like you, the lovely, lovely audience, to decide a sentence fitting of somebody who would hang a noose in an elevator. Having been in one recently, I'm trying to work out where the most stable point would be to hang it in the first place, since they normally have those soft roof things. Maybe there's a bar going across the middle. I wonder what kind of rope they used. Doesn't matter. Personally, if they did hang a noose there, I'm more curious to see whether it was intended as hate or if it was intended for themselves. If it was intended as a hateful thing to hang someone else from a minority background, or perhaps, based on the righteous look on their face, somebody of their own race. You know, let's get those whiteys back, right? Then a sentence of prison is just. Intention is important after all, though, so we can't delve too much into that. If it was done for themselves, medical help is going to be required. If they are innocent of this and the witness lied, then the witness needs to be arrested and charged for that. Although based on this parting on the side, it's not like this person doesn't stand out. Unless it was dark, in which case maybe they just went by the hook of the nose. But if they are innocent, of course, I would hope that the correct pup is caught. And as far as the other accusations the university is facing go, again, I'm not going to comment on that. Now, as we are at the end of the video, tonight, 9 PM GMT, Omegon plays Euro Truck Simulator 2. Please join me. Also, new video up on the Moistonia Live channel, Boris loses twice more in Parliament and the fallout from that. So I hope you all have a lovely, lovely Thursday, and thank you all for listening.